I'm a rising sophomore in college, and I thought I would, give my advice for incoming college freshmen. Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you can see, the setup is a little bit different. We're not doing a vlog today. Today I thought I would, just drop some knowledge on all the people out there. If you didn't know, I am a rising sophomore in college. But that feels so weird to say, I feel like I was just in 8th grade. But I'm a rising sophomore in college, and I thought I would give my advice for incoming college freshmen. Just like stuff I wish I knew before I went, because nobody really told me these things. Okay, so we're gonna start off with just like straight advice from me to you. Okay, so my first thing, leave your high school boyfriend at home. Okay, this is a little disclaimer, okay? I'm not saying that you're not gonna last, but if you know, if you have any little pinch of doubt, leave him at home. Like high school boyfriend, high school girlfriend, but just save the trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because the amount of relationships I've seen not last as soon as when I got to school, bro, and me personally, just leave it at home, because at the end of the day, I just don't want to sound like I'm being negative or like I'm a hater. I love love. If you really think it's gonna last, fight for it. Because if y'all really like each other, you'll make it work. But it's if you have any little ounce of doubt in your mind, live in my home. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, second, stay the course. Stay focused on your classes. When you get to college, it's gonna feel like high school, but a little bit just a grade above. The classes are gonna feel like high school at first, but once you get deep and deep and deep into it, the tests are hard. Study for your tests. Stay focused in your classes. Don't just go to class just to go to class. Because in reality, in college, you don't have to go to class. But if you're gonna be in class, be present, be involved, and just be there. Because if you don't know what's going on, it's gonna show on your test. And the tests are important. Stay the course. Third, don't get a job unless you absolutely have to. Because I know as an athlete, I don't have time for a job, but if you're a regular student, I personally feel don't get a job unless you have to, because it's if you have free time, why would you want to be at work? You don't have to work right now. If you're in college, like I said, unless you really have to. If you're in college, you don't really need money, unless you really need it. I just feel don't spend your free time working, because it's you have all your life to work. Don't do it right now. And it's make friends with people on campus, go to events, stuff like that. Don't spend all your time working a job. Do not take Friday classes, because I'm just gonna reminisce. So last semester, this coach that I had, we all had a class on Friday. The whole team had a class on Friday, and she scheduled the class for us on Friday. And it's why? So it's going forward, I would never take a Friday class unless I absolutely have to. Do not take Friday classes, because when your friends are oh, let's go out, let's go do something, or you guys want to take a weekend trip that starts on Friday, you're gonna be if you're taking a Friday class, your weekend starts on Friday at 3 p.m. Your weekend should be able to start on Friday. Your week should end on Thursday. So don't take a Friday class unless you absolutely have to. Staying on the topic of classes, do not take at 8 a.m. Okay, the amount of people I've told this, I was just talking to somebody the other day. He's a junior in high school. I said, don't take at 8 a.m. unless you have to. He was nah, but what if you're an early bird? It doesn't matter how much of an early bird you are, that 8 a.m. is early. With high school, it's different, because I don't know why it's different, but it's just different. It's you've gone your whole life waking up early, going to class. If you don't have to be up, don't be up. And it's in college, it's people are just up all the time just cause. And so maybe you have an 8 a.m. on Tuesday, but on Monday you guys are like up just like hanging out, whatever, and like you stayed up till like 3 a.m. just hanging out, but now you gotta wake up at 7 because you have an 8 a.m. Just don't take an 8 a.m. It's just not necessary. Always trust your gut, like whether it's in a party situation, like you're just on campus. This is like kind of for the girls too, like just trust your gut, because like I know my campus was kind of like open, I guess, to the public, and like me trusting my gut multiple times was smart. So, you know, if you feel something in your gut, trust your gut. Keep your business to yourself, like keep your business to yourself, because people talk, literally people talk, and it's like, it doesn't matter who you tell, who you think you could trust, somebody else is gonna know other than that just one person that you just told yesterday. Like by next week, multiple people are gonna know. It's like, as much as you can, keep your business to yourself, but on the other hand, everybody knows everybody's business, but nobody really cares that much. Like, that's just my perspective. Like, the amount of people, like, I knew who was doing who was in whose room, who was this, that, and the third. And it's like, I knew, but I don't really, like, it doesn't affect me. So, like, if it comes to the point where everybody knows your business, don't stress yourself out because nobody really cares that much. Don't go out every weekend. Like, if you don't have to go out, like, don't, I mean, you don't ever have to go out. But, like, if your friends are going out, go out. But it's like, don't try to make plans every weekend to go out, because like sometimes you just need a weekend to just chill, like just be by yourself, like chill in your dorm, like just vibe, you know? Don't try to go party every weekend. Don't try to go to the club every weekend. Like just vibe, you know? Next, I have make friends in your classes, bro. As an athlete, it's easier to make friends because usually I have classes with other athletes. But bro, if you don't, athlete or not, if you don't know anybody in your class, try to make friends in your classes, because when it comes down to that homework, you're gonna want to like work on it with somebody. You're gonna want to study with somebody. You're gonna want to be like, okay, like, did you do this? Did you do that? You know, like you're gonna want to have somebody else who's doing the same thing that you're doing. You don't want to be alone in all of it, and like just be in a position that you don't want to be in because you don't know anybody. Use your tutors, like, bro, just use them, because like either a tutor or like somebody who can edit your essay for you, like, bro, it would be, it's so helpful, because like, at the end of the day, no matter how much you feel like you don't need help, you need help, because there's always somebody who knows how to do what you're doing better than you know how to do it. Just use your resources as much as possible. Talk to your professors, bro, because if you don't build that relationship with your professors, like, say you're in a class, right? You go throughout the whole semester never talking to your professor, never nothing. And then like something happens, like you need a favor, you need an extension on an assignment, and you go to their professor, they're gonna be like, I don't even know you like that. Like, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, build a relationship with your professors, not just so that you can get things from them and like later on. Like, your professors are people too, you know what I'm saying? So like, just build that relationship, because whether it's a letter of recommendation when you need to go like do an internship, or you need to get a job, somebody is there that they know you. Go to campus events, because like I know me, last semester I never went to campus events, and it wasn't really like I had a reason to. I was just like, I didn't really feel like it. But at the end of the day, like I kind of wish that I did, because there was a lot going on that I just didn't know about. And I think it's better to get out there in the community and get out there on campus, because this is like where you're going to be for the next 4 years of your life. Also, going to campus events is a really good way to make friends, because like other people go to the events, like there's people out there, and especially athletes, like it's a good way to make friends with other athletes, because oftentimes coaches force their athletes to go to campus events because they want to make a good impression on campus. If you have meal points, don't use them all in the beginning of the semester, because you might be hungry later on. So like, just if you don't have to use your meal points, don't. Okay, if you're coming into college without ever drinking before and you're like gonna start drinking, just take it slow, because you will not believe the amount of people that I've seen have bad experiences because they, instead of like, you know, like easing into it. And it's like, just know your limits, and also have people around you that you trust, because alcohol can make situations very dangerous. Okay, the last thing I have on here for advice is don't try to go home every weekend. Especially like, okay, like me, I was in state, the last school I was at, and I try to go home basically every weekend. And I try to go home because I didn't like it there. And it's like, I kind of, well, I don't wish I didn't try to go home, but it's like, don't try to go home every weekend, because most people are not going home every weekend. And it's like, if you're never there on the weekends, then you're not like having time to hang out with your friends and hang out with people on campus, because during the week is when everybody's having classes, during the weekend is when everybody's free. So if you're trying to go home every weekend, you're not building those relationships and making those connections with people on campus. Okay, so now for some dorm things that I kind of wish I knew to bring, and just that I think you guys should bring. First, bring a vacuum. Okay, if you have, first of all, if you have carpet in your dorm, I'm sorry. But if you have like a rug, like I had a rug in my dorm, and it was really color. It's actually under me right now, but it was really colorful, and I couldn't see the crumbs that would be on my floor, or like just the stuff that was on my floor. And like sometimes a broom is not good enough. Okay, so get a vacuum, whether it's like a small vacuum. I'll link some in the description. Whether it's like a small vacuum, like a handheld, or like just like a little cheap like rolly one, bro, get a vacuum, because just don't be dirty. And also like the dust, it's just like, ugh. Okay, if you have a roommate, don't be the roommate that does not pick up after themselves, bro, because that stuff, it's like, it gets annoying after a while. Because like me, I didn't have a roommate in my room, but we all shared like a kitchen and living room. Bro, just don't be the roommate that doesn't pick up after themselves, because we're all grown. We all use our own dishes. We all do whatever. Just pick up after yourself. Literally, just pick up after yourself. Like, keep your space clean, keep your area clean. Obviously, every once in a while, it's gonna get a little messy, but do your best to keep your space clean. Don't be the roommate that doesn't pick up after themselves. Okay, this is a big one. Do not eat in your bed, bro. All dorms, I don't care. All dorms are infested. Like, whether you know it or not, there's bugs in literally every dorm across the United States, across everywhere. Okay, there's bugs everywhere. So like, just don't eat in your bed. And it's like, I don't care how clean you think you are, there's gonna be at least one crumb that drops in it's in your sheets, and now there's bugs, and it's just, bro, just don't eat in your bed. Like, just don't. And it's like, I used to be a religious bed eater, just like snacking. Don't eat in your bed, bro. It's not the end of the world if you can't eat in your bed, I promise. The next thing I recommend is an air purifier. You could get one for like $30, $40 on Amazon. They're not that expensive, but at the end of the day, it's good, because I know my dorm, all of our air vents were connected, so we all shared air. And at one point, the whole basketball team got sick, and then everybody else was sick because all of our airs were connected. And so like, you could either get like a thing, a thing that goes over the vent that purifies the air, or you could just get like a thing that sits on your desk that purifies the air. Any type of air purifier, because baby, getting sick is not the move at all. Next, I have curtains, because in my dorm, I had this experience, like my windows were very much see-through. There's no type of tint, nothing. Basically, one day I was getting ready for class, right? And I looked out the window and I seen a maintenance guy just sitting there on his cart. He wasn't looking at me or nothing. He was just sitting there on his phone, whatever. But the fact that I could see him and he could see me, no. Literally that same exact day, I went outside, looked up through the window, I could see straight into my dorm. And I was like, this ain't gonna hurt, buddy. This ain't gonna hurt. So I closed my curtains, and that was that. So I really recommend curtains, whether it's just regular old curtains or blackout curtains, because I know some people got blackout curtains, and those are a dream, okay? When it's like a Sunday morning, you don't got nothing to do, and you just want to sleep in, blackout curtains are the way to go. Next, I have a first aid kit, whether it's Band-Aids, Advil, Tylenol, vitamin C, bro, just have something, because especially like Advil, because I know me, I'm an athlete, I popped an Advil like it's a perk, but that's besides the point. But like, Advil saved me and my teammates, because apparently I was the only person on the team with a bottle of Advil, so I always had Advil. And then Band-Aids. One time I was riding my bike and I rode past a bench and I skinned a whole patch like this big off my leg. I had no Band-Aids in my dorm, and I had to wait till the next day to go see the trainer to get a Band-Aid. And I had to take a shower with the skin burned off my leg, and it was burning so badly. So I wish in that moment that I had some Band-Aids, because And like a first aid kit is cheap. It's like $5–10 max. So like just get that little one and it'll last you throughout the semester, and it's just a good investment in my opinion. Okay, now I have some advice for college athletes. First thing, get your rest, bro. Even if it's a day off and you like want to go to the beach, you want to go to the mall, bro, sleep, bro, because like this is the only time you have to sleep. Like, get your rest when you can. Don't always trying to be doing something when you have a day off. Like, when your coach says rest, bro. Like, don't try to be outside, because this is the only time that you have. The day is gonna get away from you, and then eventually you're still only getting like 5 hours of sleep when you should have had the whole day to rest. Keep your grades up, because even though, you know, like there's a stigma kind of with athletes that's like you don't really have to have the best grades, which is true, kind of, because you are good at your sport, so you don't have to have that best grades because the sport is paying for you to go to school. But keep your grades up, because at the end of the day, that looks better. To be an athlete with good grades, like that's like max prestige athlete, you know what I'm saying? So keep your grades up. Get rehab even when you feel like you don't need rehab. Get rehab, because like your body might not be feeling bad in this moment, but it's like if you're not stretching, if you're not icing, if you're not doing like boots, bro, get rehab, because it's gonna affect you later on and you're gonna be like, dang, like I should have got rehab. Or like you're trying to get rehab and now it's too late because it's like it's game day and like you're hurting. Be on time to practice, because you will not believe the amount of times that we have to run because people are late to practice. And it's like just having a good reputation and like making sure that your coach knows that you're there to show up and to like be the best. And that starts with punctuation. It's not just like what you do in practice. It's like showing up on time, showing up ready to play, like all that. Go to class, bro. Because with my coach didn't play. Like, we had to go to class. We couldn't just not go to class. But I've had conversations with other athletes, especially football players. It's the football players. They be like, nah, like I'm not going to class. What do you mean you're not going to class? Like, your coach doesn't get mad at you if you don't go to class. And it's like almost a little bit different because there's like 8 million people on a football team. But like volleyball, there's like 10 of us, 16 of us. So it's like, if I don't go to class, my coach knows I didn't go to class. But the football players, and I'm not saying football players specifically, it's just in my experience, it's been football players. They're like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna go to class today. Like, go to class, because if you stop showing up to class, then then all of a sudden your professor doesn't know you because they never see your face. So go to class. Make friends with other teams, because when it's nobody at your game and you are sick because there's nobody at your game, if you're friends with the basketball team, you know the basketball team is gonna be at your game because you made friends. And if you make friends with the other teams and you go to their games, they're gonna reciprocate it and come to your games. And it's like, it's always good to have somebody there, whether it's your parents, your teammates, your classmates, your teachers, somebody, like some type of support. So the easiest way to have somebody always at your game is to make friends with the other sports teams, because we're all in this together. No matter what sport, we're all in this together as student athletes. So yeah, that's about it for my video today. The list wasn't too long, but let me know if y'all want a part 2 or like any other videos that you guys want me to do. I will try to make them happen. But yeah, I hope you guys took some advice from this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you later. Love you. Bye.